Good morning. It is with a heavy heart that I'm here to say farewell. I've had the honor of spending decades in service to our nation. From 3 tours in Iraq and Afghanistan to serving in the Tennessee State Senate and the United States Congress, duty to this nation has defined who I am. But now, it's time for me to begin a new chapter. When I was selected to lead the scout platoon of our infantry battalion as a first lieutenant, I met my new platoon sergeant. He was just promoted to from sergeant first class to first sergeant. He was an outstanding non-commissioned officer. But shortly after, to everyone's dismay, he retired. All he said as he discussed his retirement was, "You'll know, Lieutenant, when it's time." I remembered that story as I left the Army some decades later, and it still rings true today. After 36 years of service to the country, almost all of my adult life, I know it's time. On Friday, July the 4th, a date not selected by accident, I will step down from my role as representative of Tennessee's 7th District and as chairman of the Committee on Homeland Security. Over the last 6 years, I've been asked countless times what it's like being a member of Congress. I can tell you there is no higher honor than standing for the principles of our republic and being a small part of this great experiment in liberty that began nearly 250 years ago. From Fort Campbell, one of the nation's most elite military installations, to Nashville, the home of country music, to Franklin, America's favorite Main Street, to Houston County for a bit of Irish flair and beyond, Tennessee 7 is a diverse and beautiful district. After I reported into the 160th Special Operations Aviation Regiment and just before leaving with them for war, the Clarksville community embraced me as one of its own. I will always be thankful for the people that helped me transition from a military to civilian life, and for that reason, among many others, Tennessee will forever be home. As a state senator, you trusted me to be your voice in Nashville, and as a congressman, you trusted me to be your voice in Washington. I will always be grateful for the outpouring of love and support from our great state of Tennessee. My goal this Congress was to fight for Tennesseans and to reverse the Biden-Harris administration's border disaster, and I am proud of the progress made. The border security aspects of the reconciliation bill are the strongest in the nation's history, and I am proud of the work of my committee getting that done. I'm also proud of the work the committee did to pass the Secure the Border Act, the strongest border security legislation to ever pass the House, and to hold the previous administration accountable through a historic impeachment that sent a clear message to President Biden: we are a nation of laws. I've said since the beginning of my tenure that I wanted to start with veterans and end with veterans. The very first bill I ever introduced back in 2019 was the Protecting Gold Star Spouses Act to make sure that no spouse or family of a fallen hero would lose access to critical resources. And in one of my final acts in Congress, I introduced my K2 Veterans Total Coverage Act to get veterans who suffered toxic exposure while serving at Camp Stronghold Freedom during the War on Terror the help they need. I also secured multiple amendments to 6 National Defense Authorization Acts that ensured our nation's warriors have the tools they need to defend our nation, that our veterans are well taken care of, and to curb the malign influence of the Chinese Communist Party. Over the last 6 years, I have also fought to cut the red tape that crippled rural hospitals and to ensure onerous prior authorization rules do not get in the way of a cancer diagnosis. Additionally, my Protecting Hunting Heritage and Education Act, which protects the rights of student athletes to participate in shooting sports, was signed into law. I now go back into the private sector to start my own company. And while I cannot give the details here, I will be doing something specifically designed to help America compete against the CCP, but this time in business. Most of all, I have to thank my family, who endured the stress and difficulty of this job. There were a lot of other people who helped me get here and who supported me. Honestly, the list would be far too long for any video. So I'll just say this: To my constituents across Tennessee's 7th District, thank you. The trust you put in me is humbling, and I will look back fondly on my years of serving as your voice in Washington. I'll leave you with this. It has been the honor of my lifetime to fight for the land of the free and the home of the brave. And I will continuously do so, but now in a different capacity. Every single one of us has a duty to ensure that this great experiment in liberty succeeds, to pass the torch to the next generation. God bless you. God bless the incredible state of Tennessee, the people of this amazing state, and may God bless the United States of America. Thank you.